Good morning, moms. My name is Connie, and I'm here with Lauren Glende. This month, we are in the classroom in support of Jillian, Lauren's daughter. And May is the month of Pediatric Stroke Awareness. Now, I don't know about you, moms, but this is something I was never aware of. So I brought Lauren in to share with us a little more about the symptoms, what it is, and how we can be aware of it, or if you are aware of it, what we can do and the resources that we can go to. So Lauren, tell me a little bit about what was your first experience with knowing what pediatric stroke was?
So when Jillian was about 6 months old, we realized she was really favoring one side of her body. And she was really tight. She held her arm kind of close to her body like this. So we went to the doctor, and she thought that it would be good if we saw a physical therapist. Oftentimes after you see a physical therapist, they'll refer you to a neurologist. So we saw the neurologist, and children who are less than 18 months old shouldn't favor one side or the other. So that's one of the signs of pediatric stroke, is if your child is favoring one side or another at a very early age, which Jillian was at about 6 months old. So, yeah.
So when you noticed at 6 months old there was a difference, and when was she diagnosed with it?
Actually, within a week, actually. So we took her to, it was a very quick process. We took her to the doctor. We got an appointment with a physical therapist pretty much that same week, which referred us to a neurologist, and we got an MRI, I think, that same week. So the MRI showed scarring on the brain, which was relatively old, which means she either had the stroke while I was pregnant with her or shortly after birth.
So the baby while in the womb can have the stroke, and when the baby's born, they still won't know until the baby starts developing.
Correct.
And then you saw the symptoms in Lauren, which brought you to the doctor to get tested.
Correct.
Now, what is, once she was officially diagnosed, what were the steps you took from there?
Then we started with a really vigorous physical therapy and occupational therapy, which helped to try and loosen up some of the muscles in her body. And then we got referred to the Birth to 3 program, which is a resource out there for all families needing testing or therapy for their children. And we just got referred through our pediatrician. And they come into your home and do therapy within the home and help your child maneuver around your actual home. So.
Okay. And how do you introduce our kindergarten classroom today is celebrating, well, they're just bringing awareness by wearing purple. And I know blue is another color as well.
Yep.
How do you explain to a kindergarten class what pediatric stroke is?
It's kind of difficult because children don't really understand, but I think what I most want families and other kids to take away from is, even though a child is different, they can still do a lot of the same things that regular other children can do. They may do it a little bit differently, but overall they're just the same as you and I. They have a little bit more struggles and may take a little longer to do certain things, and just making the children aware that, those are the reasons why.
Right. As a parent, your child is diagnosed with this, and what do you do? What are resources that you find to get the support, to get the help, and learn more about it to care for your child?
One of the first things I think we all do is go to the internet.
Right.
I found an awesome website referred to by one of our occupational therapists, actually. It's called CHASA. It's www.chasa.org. It's the Children's Hemiplegia and Stroke Association. It's their website. It has tons and tons of resources on there. One of the main things when she first was diagnosed is I felt so like, I've never heard of this before.
Right.
I've never met or heard of another child that's had the same things, and it's such a great resource because there's other families that are sharing in your same journey and can share things that have worked for their child, or just a really great place to make you feel like you're not the only one.
When my child was young, my first son, he had a seizure, and I remember calling 911 saying, my son's having a stroke, my son's having a stroke. And when I would tell people that, they would kind of just look at me like, kids don't have strokes. They're, so it is very unknown for children to have strokes. And like you had said, these babies can have these strokes in the womb, and you don't realize it till developing later. So CHASA, C-H-A-S-A, was a great resource for you to tie in, find the support, find the resources you need.
Absolutely.
And right now you're still working with Jillian, and she gets that extra care here at school with Miss Cassar. And how often does she go with Miss Cassar then?
I think it's basically she works with her basically every day. She also gets support through speech therapy with Mrs. Buck, and also occupational therapy and physical therapy too. So we get that about once a week or twice a week with those two. So she has such support here at school. I feel like she can be a regular kindergartner just like everybody else.
And there's no physical limitations either with her. I mean,
we're very
Jillian's
fortunate.
Involved. What else did Jillian do outside the school?
She dances. She really enjoys dancing and singing and doing all those kinds of things. We're very fortunate. She's doing extremely well. We're fortunate we caught it early and can make interventions early. And I think that's the key when you have a child that has a stroke or something like that, is getting them the help that they need as quickly as you can.
What are some things that you've seen since Jillian's been getting the help and the support? And what are some things that you've seen that you've been excited to see within Jillian's development?
Just even, she was very slow to start talking. So even just socializing with other children, her able to tell me about her day, what she's doing at school, even to see her like dancing at a recital, those sorts of things. It gives you an extra appreciation.
Right. So, well, thank you, Lauren, for being with us today. And Wear Your Purple this month. May is the awareness of pediatric stroke. And you can also use the resources, like we mentioned, chasa.com, to find out more about it. This is people need to be aware of this and what's going on with the children, and just make it more knowledgeable. So thanks, moms. Have a great day.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Lauren, for being with us. Take care.